trying to be better, but I just wanna throw away my motive.
What does New Lows mean to you as a statement, as an album, and as a collective of thoughts? Like, what's it mean to you?
It is a snapshot of where I was creatively. And the overarching theme kind of creates itself in the album where it's like, oh, kind of descending into the bad parts of love and romance, right? I'm just like, I'm not living that. That's not my life. I'm in a happy relationship. I've been in one for a long time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it comes out that way.
Yeah, it does.
Romance is the way that I've been writing music for so long that it's kind of become the language through which I express uh yearning or deep longing. So there are things and usually I don't notice until after. It takes me a little bit, when I make a song, I'll go, I write that. And then I get away from where I was at that moment, and then I can look back in perspective and say, oh, that's why I wrote that song. A lot of times it's life, right? It's me finding myself or disappointing myself and uh revisiting those feelings, or like at the time I'll write a song, I just don't know. I'm not aware of it. This is the song that came out. It's not fiction, right? Because it's something that just naturally wanted to come out of me. It's just not. I filter it through romance, right? I feel like romance has a connectivity to it where people listen to romance and everybody's not always in the mood to, hear a song about, mental health, right? Like it's a tough listen sometimes. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think romance softens the blow of like, these are the feelings of loss or grieving, having something, right? Like,
Yeah.
grieving good times, losing the good times, or falling into uncertain times. Um, New Lows is that encompassed in kind of a romantic shell. It
That's awesome.
definitely, I'm not, the thing is, it's like it just happens, right? Like I'm not like planning it out. I'm not, I don't even write. I just punch in lines and then get a good take
The punch
sometime
in
afterwards, right?
God. Punch in God. That's fire.
So, at the time,
So
it's just whatever words sound like they make kind of sense. Whatever lyrics feel like they make the right amount of sense, I go with. And they always paint themselves back to me afterwards, and I'm like, oh, that's why I wrote that. I was going through this. I was dealing with this.
mm,
And I think being able to do that, um, what I like about being able to kind of, or that being my natural inclination to just kind of filter it through romance, it means I don't have to go through romantic ups and downs in order
yeah.
to write the.
Where the fuck did this cover art come from? This is sick.
the the cover art is so I had this concept of um beautiful girl, uh beautiful scenery, but just kind of overgrown, a kind of overgrown. I wanted the content of the image to be beautiful,
Yeah.
but this kind of dark undertone, this kind of overgrown vibe. Like, she's got the vines. Part of the
Yeah.
beauty is also harming her, right? Like it's grow. She got vines growing out of her nose and her eyes. She looks a little concerned. She's got like a distressed look on her face.
And the tears, right? There's the tears too, right?
It's flowers. They do represent tears for sure.
Okay.
Um, so it's these flowers. Basically, um, when I make music, I always try to be as dramatic as possible. I always go like I'm gonna go full dramatic when I make this song, right? I'm not gonna dial it back.
Mm,
And oftentimes it's led me to do like really pretty things on like a song that isn't so pretty, right?
yeah,
It's like, oh, it's like encompassed in beauty. There is this kind of dark or longing underpinning. And
yeah,
uh, I wanted the cover to reflect that. So it's her encompassed in this beauty, but this beauty is also like love, is also can be harmful, right? That kind of metaphor. So it's just
yeah,
that. And then, got new lows written on the side for design.
yeah. Right. Don't forget, guys, this is an album. So, where was this album recorded? At your house?
Yeah.
Wow.
Completely at home, just right here with the microphone right here. Right next to me, an iMac, um, with the HS7s and my imagination.
Let's go.
It was over the course of like, I would say over the course of 6 or 7 months. Uh, just like I would say New Lows was a switch in my workflow. Um, I used to make albums and just work on a song work on a song at a time and put the song out. Uh, I would probably work on it for like a week and then it's ready.
Mm,
New Lows was a lot of jumping around, revisiting other songs after working on another song. Starting a bunch of songs and then finishing them over time.
wow.
Um, that was I feel like this new process has helped me to kind of create a common thread between the songs on the project, kind of I would say a better overarching vibe than
Yeah.
past projects. Because the workflow was so it's almost like I was working on each song just a little bit.
At a
Uh,
time.
yeah, it's like, but with each other, right? Like it wasn't
Yeah.
all one song. Like it's not blocked out for a single song. It's just so I feel like it pulled kind of a glue together for the entire project.
Yeah, because I was gonna say there are some songs on here. Best Things is an example.
Oh yeah,
The sudden stop and like a switch up.
yeah.
Uh, and then I think there's another one on there too that does like a similar thing.
Mhm.
Uh, and I was like, were these two different songs, and then you decided to like merge them, or was like there a thought process, or to going into it, did you know that that was going to happen, or was there just a sudden change in emotion or something, or how did that happen?
Um, I had this concept. I wanted there originally to be more interludes. I was originally going for like a 20 track
Okay.
project. Um, so when we cut it down to 10, it there were sacrifices that had to be made, but certain things that I didn't want to get rid of for just kind of the flow of the project.
Yeah.
Um, and so what was going to be an interlude, right after Best Things, just to cut in the song. Why not, right? Like
Yeah.
I think in this project I've been trying to break away from kind of preconceptions about what the structure of a song should be.
Mm,
Where the hook comes in, where the verse comes in, and I kind of want it to be more of kind of like a straight ride through sometimes, right? And so Best Things, it didn't strike me as a song as like, oh, I need this repeating hook or I need this, two verses, right? Like a lot of songs I do, it's why my songs are so short. It's like
mhm.
I feel like I've really exhausted the I feel like I've really exhausted the capacity of this record, right?
Yeah.
In 1 minute and 30 seconds. Um, but also, it's like that's only for that song. So if there's more in me to kind of talk about in that topic, that realm, that was
Yeah.
kind of reserved for the interludes. Uh, but given that we had cut the project down to fewer songs, I'd put the interlude just right on the song. So yeah.
There was one song that just like fucking spoke to me, dude. Talk to you. Um,
Talk to you.
dude. Where did the funk inspiration come from with that? Like that was so like dude, there was so much groove in there, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Um
It definitely. That song, I would say, surprised me. I didn't expect any of the turns that came in that record to kind of. It just panned out that way. It wasn't like a planned thing. It's just like I kind of ended up with these keys and this bass. It was really simple in the beginning. It was like a really pared down version of that. And
yeah.
for the longest time, I only had the intro. Uh,
Oh wow.
I didn't know. I knew it was leading somewhere, but I knew that, it's like potential to like, oh, I could lean more pop. I can go more funky pop. I ended up going funky pop because why not, right? Like
Oh yeah,
that's the
dude.
way to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
You
but
killed it.
I sat with it for a little bit. That intro, for me, it's just like when I'm working on sounds, it's like I just want to layer as much beautiful stuff as I can into a
Mhm.
record, right, without it getting too crowded. And like I want to feel. I like to when I'm making songs. I like to feel like I'm dissociating a little bit. Like this song is putting me in a place or in an environment that I am not in right now. I want it to feel almost foreign to me. Like, oh man, this is a space that I dream. Like this is like a space from like the subconscious. Like this is making me feel weird almost. I try to
Yeah.
get into that territory where it feels strange even to me. And talk to you just kind of felt like craziest thing is like I don't smoke weed. But
Me
talk to
neither.
you.
I've
But
been
it was like,
sober for almost 3 years now, dude.
oh, nice, nice.
Preach.
It's it's like I was catching but I was like catching a vibe that made me feel almost as if I was high. I'm like, oh, this makes me feel like kind of high. Like, I'm like, this is definitely I want to pursue this, right? Because it just was interesting. It was an interesting path to go down. Yeah, I think that it was just me kind of pursuing that strangeness that kind of led me to make that song. It's very like underwhelming when it's explained, but it's like it's never like this big grand plan. It's always like this kind of like the little moments of like, oh, this sounds really nice. I want to now I got an idea of what I want to lean into. I'm gonna make this sound as funky and kind of weird as possible.
Yeah. No, dude, that's the simplicity of music, man. It's like
Yeah,
you can't define creativity. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it just comes and it grows and it's fostered
yeah,
and then you kind of just tend to it and you just see where
absolutely.
it goes. You know, like either the moment that I try and force something, it no
Mhm.
longer becomes what it's meant to be. You know,
Yeah,
it becomes what I want it to be, and
yes, exactly.
that's not what the universe or whatever you want to put in
Yeah.
that in that position. That's not what it was meant to be. That's not what that that's not what that
Exactly.
entity had planned for that thing.
It's when you're seeking nothing, you gain everything, right? Like,
Yes, dude. Yes, bro, exactly. Like it's absolutely incredible. um so Monday was the first single off the
mhm,
album, right?
mhm.
Yeah. Was there a reason for that? Was that like a manager decision? Was that a you decision? Or
Monday
was it
was
just like,
at the time. Monday was just a standalone. I think
really? Wow. Okay.
the only no, it wasn't. Okay, so I had Let Me Know made too. Uh, but Monday, I wasn't even thinking about a project at that point. I was just, I got to get a single out. We had a few songs sitting around. I liked Monday. I was like, oh, you know what? This is a interesting vibe, a bit different from what I typically, I would say, drop. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Um, Monday got a lot of love. I was like,
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, did you
oh.
expect this song to get the most recognition up to this point?
No, I had no clue that people were gonna like it so much. I just thought it was more of it was fun to make. I just
Yeah.
had fun making that record. It was like interesting. It was a little different from what I typically made. Um, and I just come off releasing Dewey. So I was just like, you know what? it's time to break out of the Dewey brain and like start to just try new things. So I was just having fun playing around, and Monday just shaped up. I was like, you know what, I kind of like this. Is like a fun little vibe.
Yeah.
And what I like to do with singles is like kind of like see what people like. So when I drop a single, it's like, yeah, I'll drop something funky and new, right? Like I'm not so established as an artist that like people are seeking out. Oh man, is he gonna drop that next album? Was gonna have the same like a similar vibe? Like I'm
Yeah.
really not locked down at all. And I would say my listeners are very open minded, right? They have been uh they like a range of music. So I was like, oh, with the freedom I have, let me drop something that's a little strange. Uh, and it really kind of caught on. That actually was the reason I was inspired to go kind of leftward with New Lows, was because I realized, oh, people like these songs, even if the structure is odd or I'm making certain choices that aren't like abiding by the rules of pop, per se, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
little, yeah. So I'm just like, oh, I have some freedom to get creative and weird. I'm gonna take it, right? And so New
Absolutely.
Lows was kind of spawned from that.
So that was the beginning, right? We
Yeah,
go from Monday, the beginning. And I need to ask, dude, what's your favorite song off the project?
that stuff. Um, that's tough. I want to say it's between Philosophy
Mm,
and probably Monday. I really like Monday.
okay.
Probably Philosophy and Monday, both of which. Now I actually lied earlier because Philosophy was done before Dewey even came out. So that was
Really?
done. Yeah, yeah. Philosophy's old. Uh,
Wow.
it's
Because I was going to ask you, like, philosophy, that's the song that
yeah,
strays away from the
yeah.
typical like
It's a
instrumentation
strange
sound.
addition.
Yeah.
Um, every once in a while when I'm working on a project, I'll throw a song in there that is, I feel like, encompasses how I'm feeling at the moment of release. Right? Like
Mm.
it's almost like foreshadowing. I would say Philosophy is in line with a lot of the songs that I'm working on now.
Dude, fuck
Uh,
yes, let's go.
so it's like Philosophy has, to me, it's just kind of this rawness to it that I did not polish it. I did not try to. Something came out of me. The lyrics are are heavily up for interpretation, right? They mean something to me. It's very few lyrics. It's like they're scattered about in random places. A lot of music going on and
Wow.
random change up at the end. It's
Yeah, I love that change up.
thanks. That that is I like what I like about that is the freedom is in the song, right? Like no rules, just whatever was happening happened. It's just I didn't think about, oh man, I gotta dial it in. To some degree, every song I did dial in a little bit. Philosophy, I would say, is the one where I just didn't, right? Like I just, even the mix, I didn't go into it as deeply as I typically would. I thought, you know what, this is a feeling. And also I had more time to sit with Philosophy,
Yeah.
to grow to like it as it was and not judge it from like, a musician's perspective. So I yeah, I think it also sitting with it for some time, I grew really close to it. Um and Monday is very similar. It's just breaking away from any preconceptions, and just trying to do something different from what I typically do, right? Because it gets boring to, follow. I have a few. I do have a sound, right? I don't want to completely abandon it, but a few songs I really like to, and I tend to enjoy those songs the most.
Yeah. Dude, it's the beauty of experimentation. And I was gonna ask you, man. I know that you mentioned that you don't smoke weed, but like, were there any extracurriculars involved to get to that level of experimentation in philosophy? Because like, dude, it just felt like I was tripping.
Yeah. Philosophy? No, I'd say I was having a good normal day, maybe caffeine, right? Like I was sipping a whole lot of tea. But other than that, um, I think it was just a particularly peaceful moment.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like having a peaceful day, a clarity of thought, and some days you just have a good day where you're not judging everything you're doing. And I think
Mm,
I just had one of those days when I started working on philosophy. I got a lot done on the song very quickly. So everything that I added afterwards was just kind of supplementing what was already there. I think I just had a good day. I think I was high off of a good day in non-judgment, right? And I
that's
think I'm
beauty,
getting back
man.
to that. It's interesting music. I don't know how music's gonna perform. I don't know how people are gonna receive it. But when I ask myself why I make music, right? It's not I realize that I can't outsource, my reason, right? Like I can't say, oh, because I hope people like it. That would be a lie. To some degree, I do hope people like it, right? I want to make a good song that people enjoy. Um, but if I were to disappear, right? Like I would want my music not to be, oh, like, he stayed in line. I
Hmm.
want it to be something that as time goes on, it ages well because it was very true to me. It was very much me and nobody else. And it's very with social media and streaming the way we have it nowadays, it's very hard to stay focused on yourself, right? Like in your own personal development without trying to factor in a million and one things you've heard about how a song was made somewhere else by somebody else, and oh, what vocal chain somebody used. There's so many things to get caught up in that, like, and philosophy is one of those songs where it just, to hell with all of it. I'm just gonna make whatever, and I'm gonna put it out. And I was sitting with philosophy before I dropped the album, and I'm going, I could definitely mix this better. I could definitely like add some, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave it because it just is what it is. So
Dude,
that song, yeah.
it's perfect the way it is, man. Like as
Thank
soon as we're done with this, I'm going outside. Like I
yeah.
got this big JBL box thing, and I'm blaring that fucking song. I'm hopping in the hot tub, and I'm just gonna dance my ass off. Like that's the vibe with that.
That's lovely.
Um, so dude, best things.
Mhm.
Another one of my favorites on the New Lows album. Um, what's like because you said in the track,
Mhm.
best things keep getting away from me or something
Yeah.
along those lines. And
Mhm.
I was gonna ask you, man, like, in respect to the song, it seems like it's a woman, right?
Mhm.
That's what the song portrays. But
Mhm.
I kind of want to get deeper because now that I know that, like, it might not have been about a woman that you were, actually writing about,
Mhm.
and how your writing process evolves and how you kind of used romance as a way to like feed the story to the listener
Mhm.
without necessarily like actually talking about it.
Mhm.
What types of things were actually getting away from you?
Um, I think with my anxiety rising, um, my sense of security in life,
Mm,
uh, this all started at COVID. It took everything away from everybody, and uh, I think I've carried that with me over the past several years. And now, looking back on best things where I'm writing it, I think I'm just kind of addressing that overarching theme of things were good. It was a mindset that I had at the time. I was like, things were good, and now things are rough because I was going through a rough patch, right? Like, it's like things are good. I mean, things were. It's like everything looks better when you're looking back in time, right? And now, from a perspective point of view, I look at it and say, oh, you know what? That wasn't such a bad time when I wrote the song. But
yeah.
at the time, is how I felt, is that my security, my kind of state of being, my peace. That I lost all of that. I was in a straight anxious state all the time, completely wired up, exhausted, and beat down, just kind of like depressed about it. And so I think that song is more of me. I feel like it was more of me kind of touching on or complaining about the state that I was currently in rather than uh it's like, oh, I had such a good thing, right? It got
Mm.
away from me. Like now I'm, kind of that filtered through romance. It's like, oh yeah, you had a great situation and you can't quite grasp it back, right? Like you flirt with because the song talks about kind of like, oh, like you still have relations with this person, you're just not in a relationship. So it's you flirt with ups and downs, like you flirt with the kind of ebbing and flowing of
Yeah.
life, but um that stability, right, that you yearn for has gotten away. That's not there.
Damn.
And like,
Fuck.
yeah, it's too volatile.
Dude, I relate so much. Now I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the woman that I'm thinking of you talking about as best things and just throughout the whole track, it's just like I
Mhm.
gotta listen to the album again, dude. Like, um, so we kind of talked about the sudden stop and the switch up on that track.
Mhm.
And that it was, it was like an interlude that didn't really necessarily make its way in, but you
Mhm.
knew that it just needed to go into the track into the album. So
Yeah.
that was my next question. But I wanted to kind of dive away and just, give a little bit of a lighthearted story, maybe something that you've experienced throughout the time of making New Lows. Favorite memory, maybe in the studio, in your bedroom, or just a funny story during the making of New Lows. I just
Oh
wanted to
God.
see what you had in store.
Is there a funny story? Let me think. I gotta look at the track list real quick because that was a tough time. It was a tough time. It was um very dark time for me overall. I'd say, huh, probably say the most lighthearted part of the creation of the album was Negative Nancy.
Really?
Making Negative Nancy, yeah. It's basically a song to myself, like,
Oh my
on a
gosh.
sunny day, you would pack a cloud just in case. It's like, dude, stop being such a downer. Probably a happier day of mine. I remember recording it. I got very emotional because I was speaking to myself. It's like, uh, very teary eyed. Like, like I didn't expect for Negative Nancy to be like, oh, this is like it's gonna be the best song on the album or anything like that. It was just more so like a song I felt was necessary. So it was
Hmm.
like definitely it was a nice experience to talk to myself at that time. I don't have any funny stories because like it's just it was not a great time in life. I
Yeah.
was very much alone and making music. Like,
Well, you get to look back at it and laugh at it now.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the beauty.
Absolutely. Things are a lot better now.
That was so crazy, dude. Because you know what my next fucking question was?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about on Negative Nancy? That's fucking crazy. And now that we know it's you, we
Yeah.
we don't even have to. I mean, if you want to, you can talk about it. But
Yeah, it's just making light of it's like we catastrophize everything nowadays. We have too much technology. We have too much access to everything. We have a
yeah,
lot of security. And in a sense, as a society, not everybody, some people definitely struggle, but a lot of us are, spoiled, right? And we have no real threats or danger. And so we catastrophize everything else around us
oh my
that
god,
is
it's
a
so true.
non-threat. Yeah. And that song is basically to anybody, who's like everything's good. You're good. Like what do you like, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. Like that's why the chance there's just breathe. It's for me, I needed to hear that because I'm sitting here, I'm just wired up about literally nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing pressing in my life that like I should be wired up about. There's not a relationship issue. There isn't a financial issue. There isn't a health issue. But for some reason, I'm like, my brain is going to, I'm like holding on to concern. I'm
Mhm.
creating stuff out of thin air to be concerned about. Like, oh, what if this happens? Like, and I'm treating it as if it's real. It's like a tangible danger. It's like that. It seems to be with us having everything. It seems to be a common behavior in just a lot of people. You know, it's like that we have so much, and we do have our brain is wired to have some level of anxiety, but we have nothing to pin it to. So we pin it to things that we should not be anxious about. And that grows into a whole host of things that we should be anxious about. So it's just complicated, right? This song is basically like, I would hope if somebody listens to it that they would maybe bring to the forefront of their consciousness that maybe I am being a negative Nancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only people who are set and doing well. You know, it's not addressed to people who are, you know, there are people definitely struggling and have reasons to have, you know, anxiety, you know. So
Dude, it was so that I remember writing a poem one time. This is how it goes. He goes, "The voice in my head is fishing for me, trying to get me to bite on the line. It wants my
mhm,
attention. It wants to reel me and pull me out of my peace. It
mhm,
tells me the peace I'm experiencing is boredom. It tells me I need
mhm.
to produce something new. It tells me I need to fix things that are wrong. It tells me I need to escape. This
Yep.
voice is the ego. Don't listen to the ego. Stay in the peace instead."
Yep.
Like that to me is like my ADHD to a T. You
Yeah,
know, it's
absolutely.
like it's like, oh, I'm gonna replace peace with the thought that it's boredom. So
Hmm.
now my brain's gonna need to tell me that in order to escape the boredom that I'm in, I have to create something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and my brain creates problems.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'll just be like, oh, and the one thing that really struck me when you were saying something was like you were talking about nothing, right? You were like, yeah, like there's nothing to like complain about or anything,
Mhm.
you know? And it's like I take that nothing and the problem becomes everything. You
Ye-
know, it's like
Exactly.
that's the shit that
If
I'm
you are demonizing the fabric of existence, just existing,
yeah,
right? And your brain somehow tells you this is not the right thing to do, then everything outside of anxious action, I need to do something, everything outside of that is bad. It means that your
yeah,
environment around you is just totally soured.
yep.
That's harsh. Like, it's harsh.
It's fucking harsh. Dude. The right way to put it is that is it's a harsh way of living.
It's tough.
Um, LMK, bro.
Mhm.
Let me know. Pretty sensual song, bro. Um, you know, I mean, you're talking about pain, you're talking about loss,
Mhm.
definitely in a vulnerable way. I want you to kind of dive into making this song a little bit, if you can.
um, I remember making this song. It was like in the fall, like early fall. Uh, and I do feel like that song's a little more straightforward. Not necessarily the romantic aspect, but how relationships in general sort of fall apart due to um, the sort of complacency that we tend to have as people. We are quick to judge. We're not quick to, you know, look inside and ask, oh, like, you know, is um, but
Forgive.
also we express ourselves. The reason relationships fall apart is because we don't express ourselves honestly. We express ourselves far too expressively.
Mm,
And in all of that expression, all of that frustration and anger that tends to happen, the message gets lost, right? Which is that if I'm losing you, let me know, right? Like, just keep it a buck, keep
yeah.
it, you know, right there with me. And that was kind of like what that's how, you know, you've got red wine on your dress, saying I'm not trying is like kind of a visual to like you're somebody's going off, right? Like somebody is
Mm,
um and so what if I'm just healing? What if it takes time? Right? Like we're past communication, right? Like we're past you don't want to know my perspective, you know,
wow.
you're feeling how you're feeling, you know, it's like and so basically not considering the other person's uh viewpoint, you're lost in frustration, and you're not communicating effectively, right? Like it's just kind of all of those ideas encompassed into a song. Pretty straightforward. I just added more of a romantic lens to it because, songwriting sake.
Yeah, you guys, dude, that's crazy cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the thing is like sometimes I get so lost in the music aspect of a song that like I tend to lose sight of the lyrics,
Yeah.
and the vibe and the emotion behind like the musical layers
Mm.
really took a hold on me, and it's hard for me to like get out of a mind frame when something's put into it, and like when
Yeah,
that
yeah,
song
absolutely.
starts is like I'm like, oh, cool, like I just had a smoking hot date and like we'll and like yeah, like Netflix is on but nobody's watching, like that's like the vibe, and I'm like, now that I'm here and listening to what you had to say about that, like
Yeah.
I gotta give it another listen. Because I'm like, um, you said something. You said the wine thing, right? And like in
Mhm,
my head, I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, they're like playfully like
mhm.
talking on a couch, and like she spills some wine,
Uh,
like you know
well,
what I
that's the
mean?
fun part about it, right? It's
Yeah,
open enough that it can be interpreted, like
yeah, and
in a
it's
different way.
like everybody's gonna have their different, basically like head movie to the
Yeah.
song. Are you gonna release a music video for all the songs?
For all of them, maybe not, probably not.
Yeah, I was like,
Probably not all of them, but that's a
give a
lot of stuff.
budget.
But definitely, I think a good 2 or 3 music videos might be the way to go,
Yeah. So
and a ton of content to
yeah,
surround it.
you're gonna do Monday, and what other two songs were you thinking? Do you have it like kind of set in stone yet?
It's not set in stone yet. Part of me is like, maybe Monday, maybe Talk to You.
Yes, they will
Um,
ever talk to you.
Talk to You is definitely one of the more loved ones. I'm also thinking like maybe Lavender. It's like that
Mm,
song is also doing pretty well. That's like a safe bet. It's like one of the songs where a 251, some like happy vibes.
yeah,
The listeners always love it. So, um, but definitely, I'm thinking about definitely Talk to You, Lavender, perhaps Best Things if we want to get a little spicy with it, but
yeah,
definitely one of those 4.
yeah, dude. With best things, dude, you could have like one, like it almost be two different videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like as soon as like the switch up comes, like sets different, clothes different, lighting completely
Yeah,
different.
exactly. I feel like
You know,
I feel like it gives more to work with in terms of like shooting a video. You can have a lot of
in
fun
terms
with
of
it.
shooting a video for sure. And I think Talk to You does the same thing.
Yeah, Talk to You definitely. I think it definitely has some waves to it where
Yeah.
it picks up, but that intro is pretty long, so it's like a well,
Dude, that's the thing with like I didn't even realize that the intro was that long just
yeah.
because like it's so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like it's good
Thank you.
enough to like it doesn't feel like it's dragging you on, but like
Yeah,
you're able to like ride with it
yeah.
into what it eventually becoming. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Um, so you're tired of being a number. Iconic,
Mm.
iconic line. I love
Yeah.
that. I feel that so much. What to this point in your life has kind of made you feel this way that we kind of haven't already talked about?
The fact that I probably didn't think it really kind of touches on I have not allowed myself to be
Mm,
who I am completely and fully, right? Like it's I'm so proud of being a number. It's like I've assimilated. I have not stepped into myself, the most original and true version of myself. And so you end up being a number. You end up being alike to, or very similar to other uh people who also have the same disposition where I want to be accepted. I want to be uh Further in the song during the hook, it's like, I believe in waking up on Monday. We can kick back doing what we want to. What you're looking for is standing right in front of you. It's like, that is me basically kind of expressing that, yeah, there's nothing I should be looking for. I should just be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like right
Mhm.
there, kick back, like stop, I want to be your number one. I think that, I want to be your number one line that follows up is like, in a sense, what pulls me away, like a desire to succeed, to find success is what pulls you away from being your truest self, right? Like,
Being who you actually are. Yeah.
yeah.
I was a menace, didn't have orientation.